What's up, y'all? I'm Nathan here at Qualcomm Santa Clara. Today we're going to be making pulled char siu pork with Asian sweet potatoes and a vegetable stir fry. Alright, so with char siu pork, normally you have pretty basic Asian ingredients. So you have soy sauce, ketchup, sesame oil, aji mirin, sugar, Chinese fried spice, and a little bit of molasses. You want it to be like sweet and salty, and there's not really any like spice besides Chinese fried spice. Yeah, today we decided instead of using red food coloring, we blended up, well, we boiled and blended up a beet, and we're going to use that as the coloring element. That way it's a little bit more
all natural, organic, friendly for the environment and everything like that. So yeah, I like to start with a little bit of ketchup first. I may not use all of that, but alright. So ketchup first, then I start adding the less viscous.
Yeah. Soy sauce, aji mirin, sugar, molasses,
That's what I'm always missing. I never, in mine I never add molasses. And every time I make it, I'm like, why is mine a little bit different than what Nate does?
Yeah.
What am I missing? That's one of the reasons why I wanted you to do this video.
So you know for later?
Yeah.
I like adding the molasses because it adds that extra darkness to it. It adds some more sugar flavor. Because you want that, like that color, the dark color, to be on the outside of like whatever protein or thing that you're doing with the char siu pork for me. And that's just, for me, it always has that like, just almost smoke ring looking flavor or color. So we're going to be adding our Chinese fried spice. And a little bit of garlic. And then I wait till the very end to add in the sesame oil. Sesame oil, I don't want it to overpower anything else. And I like to taste this before I add in the sesame oil. But that's just my own personal preference.
Okay. Make sure you always taste everything you make.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's great.
It's great.
I think it needs a little bit more Chinese fried spice. I'm just a fan of Chinese fried spice in char siu pork.
Cool.
And then I will add in just, I don't know, a tablespoon of sesame oil at the end.
Chef Nate here is going to prep the pork for us. So you'll notice that Nate's one hand is blue, and that's because he is wearing his cut glove.
Safety first.
Yep.
So this doesn't have a lot of fat on it. Before we make pulled pork, again, in any cuisine that you make pulled pork in, you want to sear it first. That way it traps in all of like the moisture and the flavor. And I like to go really basic and simple whenever I saute it. I just put salt, pepper. Today I'm going to add a little bit of Chinese fried spice because of what we're making it into. Add just a little bit of depth. But you don't want to add your marinade just yet because you don't want any of those sugars to burn or anything like that in the pan that you're going to be searing it in. So yeah, all right. We're just going to cut this into 2 smaller pieces. On this guy, you don't see any silver skin or any fat. Really, it would have been right here. and this would be the time that I would take any of that off, that like what's called the fat cap. I mean, there's a little bit right there. That's the silver skin. You can kind of see. I don't know if the camera can see that, but that's kind of basically what you'll see. It'll be just like an extra gritty layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. Other than that, I think it's pretty much ready to go. I'm just gonna cut it in half.
Why do you cut it in half?
Well, to fit in the pan a little bit better, and then it'll help it cook a little bit faster, and to get that inside of that have all the flavor from the sauce itself. Otherwise, it would just be this big portion on the outside that gets it, but then this would just be straight pork flavor. So, yeah.
All right, so we got Chef Nate here.
What's up?
He's gonna sear his pork real quick.
Yeah, already seasoned it with salt, pepper, 5 spice. Make sure and heat your pan with your oil up first, and you want this thing pretty much pretty hot, pretty rocket. Yeah, I think it's probably pretty ready to go.
Oh yeah. Even with the hood behind us, you can hear it.
Normally with pork, like we were just talking about, the fat that's on it, you would always want to put the fat side down. That way you lock in that flavor, you shrink up the fat a little bit. Yeah, but this guy didn't have a lot, so it really doesn't matter what side you put it on first. We're done searing it. It looks awesome. Basically, we're going to need to deglaze the pan a little bit here. So I'm going to add in a little bit more of the arginine. It's going to help get that flavor up off of the pan from the pork. Then it reduces down a little bit, gets that alcoholic flavor coming out of it. Then we're gonna add in the sauce that we made earlier.
Oh yeah.
It'll help speed up the cooking process. We put it in the oven, getting it hot a little bit in here instead. So we're going to put it into our container that's going to go into the oven.
A little Dutch oven action.
Sauce and everything. And it's going to go into the oven for about 3 to 4 hours.
Alright. Okay, so we had a little filming error there where the camera wasn't recording as we loaded the peeled and diced sweet potatoes into our hot pan with a little bit of oil and brown. We're going to let them sear for about 10 minutes, stirring every couple minutes, and then we'll continue on. But sorry, camera wasn't recording.
It's getting pretty soft. You can see it's a little bit brown, a little bit
Caramelization
on the bottom. Just natural sweetness from the sweet potatoes. So we're gonna add in soy sauce. Probably more than that. Arginine. Star anise. Brown sugar. Mix that around. You're gonna want this to come to a boil. It's starting to boil a little bit, so in order to let it not have all those sugars and soy
Okay.
sauce, burn, or anything like that. We're gonna go ahead and remove it and finish it off in the oven. Yeah.
Alright, now we got our next pan. Waiting for it's time to mix and stir fry. It happens to be Friday, so it's stir Friday.
So we're gonna make some vegetable stir fry now. We're starting out with sesame oil into our hot pan. Let that heat up for a couple seconds. Kind of go to work a little quick. We're doing cabbage. We have red and green cabbage. Then we're gonna add in our carrot. Alright. Now we have our bell pepper, onion,
Soy sauce. And that is why we didn't add any salt in our process, because soy sauce has a lot of salt, high salt content, and we don't want to overdo it.
Get our pork out of the oven. Looks awesome. Yeah, we're just gonna shred it right now.
On the Create Station today,
All right. So today we're serving what we just showed you in the cafe. We have our awesome Asian sweet potatoes, a little bit of sesame seed, and green onion on top. The vegetable stir fry looks beautiful as is, so not really much garnish that needs to go on there. And then you have this awesome Char Siu pulled pork.
alright, so we're about to show you a plate up of it. We're
Alright.
using one of our special catering plates because we thought it would look really nice. And we're not using plates right now, so our actual plates are all packed up and in storage. It's so hot it's fogging up the lens on the camera.
You good?
Yeah.
My name's Nathan, here in Santa Clara at Qualcomm. Here's my Char Siu pork, pulled Char Siu pork, vegetable stir fry, and Asian glazed sweet potatoes. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.